Hey guys, welcome to CoMA Pirate Radio, the voice of Center of Mystic Arts, where we as esoteric pirates slide our boats together, throw the ropes, tie the knots, and talk about the maps. This is an episode of Cosmic Dialogue. Today is the day of Venus, and she is in a very precarious position at the moment. She's in conjunction with the sun, who is in conjunction with the moon. They're all in like this very interesting, close-knit triangle, okay? And they're all in a very precarious position because they're between Sagittarius and Scorpio. This is exactly where the 13th constellation hides. Right? And like on the foot. Like it's so freaking perfect, you guys. So you've got the arrow of Sagittarius. You've got the stinger of Scorpio. Sagittarius is masculine and Scorpio is feminine. But you would think that because the stinger is masculine, it feels masculine. But then you have the foot of Ophiuchus, actually 2 feet, like one literally is stepping on Sagittarius and one is stepping on Scorpio. This 13th constellation that has come out with a bang. I mean, you cannot deny the feat of Ophiuchus, okay? Ophiuchus has come in as an anarchist, as trans, as the alchemist, as the shadow healer. I have to look at the card. The card has been made, and it will be in the next order of the Solar Party Paradigm cards. But yes, Ophiuchus is paradoxical, primal, shocking, the detoxer, the pattern breaker. This is androgynous energy, green and blue snake skin, an Ouroboros tattooed on their chest, reviving the old medicinal path, bringing snake oil back online. Look at that snake in her pants, Venus. And this is where we have Venus, the sun, and the moon right now. And they're all mixed up in. Like the tropical collective feels Sagittarius. The sidereal few feels them in Scorpio. Those of us who can look at through a telescope or at the Sky app or something and really, really find out where they are seeing this Ophiuchus constellation. Now, I talked a little bit in my short about being quincunx with the boss. The boss is also in between, okay? The collective consciousness, which is the tropical because it's connected to the calendar, feels Cancer. The sidereal, which is a little bit more in line with the reality of what, like it takes the Earth's tilt and everything into account, feels Gemini. And when you look in a telescope or with the Sky app, you can see they're very much in between, but I would definitely say in Gemini. Either way, we can feel them on a cusp, right? It's just like being on a cusp. You have a little bit of both characteristics. And we know that human beings, at least, if you paint a picture, have a lot more than just their sun sign, for instance, okay? We have more personality and depth than just the surface. So we can feel this boss as being very healing and nurturing and sensitive, but also dualistic and communicative and opposing. Which with this quincunx and Venus in my short, Venus turned into this, the Ophiuchus rebellious teenager that just slams the door in the face of Jupiter, the boss. Like, I don't want to work. I'm going to be self-employed. Screw you, boss, but that causes problems, within the solar party paradigm, because Jupiter's paying for everything, like I said in the short, but we've got more than just that going on with Venus right now. Is she a he? Is she a he? Is he a she? She's trans. So we've got this, we're feeling of masculine and femininity within Venus, which is typically known as the divine feminine. Being shadowed by the sun, and also in conjunction with the magic moon mirror, showing unconscious, habitual patterns, right? But she's breaking the patterns. So you can almost, like, for me, I see her in her room, alone, slamming the door, right? Looking at the mirror, figuring herself out, figuring what kind of patterns am I going to break, right? Ophiuchus is the pattern breaker. What patterns do we need to break to, to work towards enlightenment, to manifest our dreams, to, if you have a savior complex, God bless you. Save yourself, save the world. I like to play like that, Some of us do. Esoteric pirates a lot of times like to play pretty hard and rough. And wanting to save the world is definitely playing hard. For sure. Because ultimately we really can't do anything about it individually. But then at the same time we can, because we are it. If you practice Tantra, and I do, my body is the body. As above, so below becomes a little bit more personal with Tantra. I am it. And as I heal me, I heal it, right? But at the same time, I know that I am not my body. So it gets really trippy. Venus is figuring all this stuff out, especially being the Beaty Queen. She identifies with her beauty. Beauty is a vibration. And it's very attractive, right? But she's in square. Let's figure out what this square is. She's in square with Saturn, the party planner, and Neptune, the bartender. Now, in square, these guys are old friends that always get each other in trouble. There's a lot of tension and frustration. And they need a little bit of therapy so that they can come together and work together. And, the square builds a strong foundation. So for better or worse, the square is hard to move. So we've got this party planner, maybe what it feels like is that Venus, alone in her room saying, screw everybody, I'm an anarchist, and not even knowing that there's a boss, like stranger danger. Who is that? I don't even know what having a boss is like, right? Says Venus. And then has the party planner tapping on her shoulder. Are you holding your boundaries? Are you structured? You better clean this room. Are you going to be responsible? What are you going to be when you grow up? And she's like, what? Like, grandma, No. And she's even sitting in conjunction with Neptune, the bartender. So she's sitting at the bar. Venus probably is like, you drunk bitch, leave me alone. I can make my own freaking money, you know? Um, but we can't dismiss the planets. Just like the rebellious teenager cannot just wipe out everybody else on the planet. You know, it doesn't make sense, even though sometimes you want to, believe me. I know what that feels like. I want to wipe out everybody on the planet too. I really do. Please. There are too many mofos out there right now. And I mean, Neptune, the bartender, is serving the drink. So Venus could be like, I don't know. What are you serving? Right? Like, it's that the rebellious teenager just rolls her eyes or his eyes at everything. Like, screw all of that. But Neptune, the bartender, brings compassionate understanding of the collective conscious, the psychic ability, and they're both in Pisces too. So Neptune is very strong right now with this psychic ability, with this otherworldly self-sacrifice. But yeah, you can feel Venus, that rebellious trans teen, being like, I mean, I don't want to take any of that shit. I mean, sometimes they do. It's a square, right? So it's like, okay, so Neptune listens to everyone's confessions. With this square, I can feel Venus being like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear the collective consciousness. That's why she slams the door. She literally is slamming the door on the collective consciousness. Everybody else just needs to shut up for a second, right? And listen. I mean, for more than a second, if you ask me. But we've got something else going on, though. We've got a best friend. Who are you going to call? It's not Ghostbusters. It's your best friend. You're going to call your BFF, your bestie for life, no matter what. This is a trine. The trine is with Chiron the shaman. Now, I really like this because when she calls the shaman, who is also in Pisces, mind you, and not only just in Pisces, but in conjunction right next to the slot machines, which is the fortune. So this is a very, very, very lucky shaman. Like, it's really making me smile, right? Like, okay, so the fortune in astrology is the mathematical placement found using the three, which is the sun, moon, and ascendant, your rising sign. When somebody that knows astrology says, you know your sun, moon, and rising, you know a little bit more than just your sun sign, right? So we take this, and I don't know the mathematical equation. That's really not the point. The point is the equation turns into this location. It gives the astrologers this location, and it turns magical. It like pings this magic location that is a very lucky location. And it becomes the slot machines at the solar party paradigm. So Venus, this anarchist, just, I don't even know what else to call it. I don't know what pronouns they want to use. I don't know what they identify as, if they're more sporty and Sagittarius, or if they're more sensual and sexual with Scorpio, or if they're more anarchist like Ophiuchus and just say screw it, or if they're a combination of them all, that's pretty much what I feel. Is I can feel a combination of them all. Calls her best friend the shaman, who's like, okay, she's like, listen, I got problems with Saturn, the party planner, and Neptune, the bartender, because they're just bugging the hell out of me. Saturn is telling me to clean my freaking room and hold my boundaries and figure out what I want to do when I grow up. And Neptune, the bartender, is trying to serve me drinks, and I have to listen to all the collective consciousness craziness, And Chiron, the shaman, says, look, I'm Pisces too. Okay, I feel them. And this is a time of great, she laughs. I feel her. I feel Venus being like, this is a fucked up time. This time is fucked up. What do you want to talk about? This time sucks ass. I'd rather be living in a Native American, that was my whole teenage years since I found out what Native Americans were. This is personal. Me, Eve, Mystic Eve, always felt like I was born in the wrong time. I wanted to be Native American. I want to live in a teepee. I just want to live off the planet, live in the middle of the woods. I don't care if I die easy. I don't care if that there's no hospitals. I don't care that there's no schools. That makes it better for me personally. But the shaman says, humans are humans. And humans will always advance. And it might not feel like an advancement to you. And it may be destroying the planet. I mean, there's no doubt about that at this point. We know. But it's part of the cycle. It's part of the growth and the death. We're approaching is the planet gonna die? I don't know. I know about space, and I know that this is not the only planet. So I don't know. But, I want to do everything I can to try and save it, because I do have a kid, right? For the future, it's all for the children. The children are the future. And this is all what the shaman is saying. I'm beating my drum. This is all cyclical. We're at a pivotal point in human history, in the history of the planet. These devices that you're listening to me on means that I can speak to millions of people at once. Now, granted, I know that's not true. I don't got that kind of following yet. I have not gone viral, which is the fortune. Okay, shaman, I feel you. You can, you're right there next to the fortune, the slot machines. Maybe I'm going to win this time. Funny, because I did actually, I took a picture of it. I went in an Airbnb, and there was this slot machine, this little toy slot machine in the bedroom. It was pretty cool. And I, of course, played and won, and it was diamonds. It was 3 diamonds in a row. And I was just no fucking way. I never win anything. And I took a picture of it. So that's probably going to show up right here in the podcast, where I'm going to put pictures and stuff to my words. So, that's basically that, Venus can get reassurance from Chiron to hold space for Saturn, the party planner. Because, it's interesting that the party planner in the solar party paradigm, you don't really think of her as death. I didn't even put death on the card. That's interesting. Maybe they want it there. But Saturn is death. Saturn holds that boundary, that it's a structure. It's very punctual when you die. It's boom, there's a point. when you leave your body. So Venus has to give space for Saturn, even when she doesn't want to, even when death is like ugly. Death is not pretty. And this Venus that we're feeling right now is really trying to figure this out and trying to get along with the bartender, because the collective consciousness is just crazy. And all we can see is the backside of the sun and the moon, which they're so vastly different. Like, is esoteric pirates keeping everything in mind? The size and the magnitude of the sun and the size and, the magnitude of the moon. We don't even know what the moon is made up of anymore. Like, some people say it's hollow. Some people say it's metallic. Scientists say it's this. People say it's that. Like, who the frack knows? And Venus is almost in the room with them. We've got these rebellious anarchists. The sun is like, I don't even want to be masculine anymore. And the moon's like, well, I don't want to be feminine anymore. And then Venus is like, I am supposed to be the divine feminine, but, screw that. So, I hope you guys enjoy. The solar party paradigm is very much about the laughs. It turns the tables on this feeling that the gods control us. It's putting the gods, which is within you, onto kind of a drama scene, right? It's on stage. You're looking at them and you're laughing. Like, come on, Venus. Look at where you are, and just laughing about it. But it can also be very beneficial in figuring out your next moves in life and how you manifest. So, check out more on Patreon. This is for YouTube, but I'm also going to post it on Patreon. And check out the website, of course, centerofmysticarts.com, where you can see everything and find all the links to all of it. And whether you're traveling physically or mentally, may it be in love and light and shadow. And don't forget your magic bag. It's full of everything you need, and you're going to need it. Until next time, ciao.